Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez.
And I'm Kevin Friel. We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. You can find them at www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
The news around the water coolers in town today is whether or not Marston's Mills resident Siobhan Magnus garnered enough votes to move into the top 10 contestants on American Idol. Kevin had an opportunity to sit in with Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch and discuss the wave of hometown pride and support that Siobhan has inspired.
I've just been very pleased with the community pride that's been coming out. You know, if you notice, there's a new sign up at the head of the Village Green that the Annis Air Chamber and the Main Street Bid put together. There are bumper stickers, much like the one that's behind us, that some local businesses are putting out. The high school, as a kind of to help their student fund, they've put some buttons together that have been designed by John Sullivan. You see local businesses sponsoring events. I think this is a very unusual circumstance to see someone rise on the national scene like this with the talent she has, and for it to be recognized beyond Cape Cod is just wonderful.
And you're absolutely right. The way that she moves on to the next round is by people calling up after the show ends and voting for her. Our stage manager, Joy, yesterday called up 40 times and voted for her, which is just great. Another thing that I took away from her performance last night is just what Ellen DeGeneres said, and she just said, more please. She just wanted more and more of her just being herself and up there performing. So
we have a Facebook page now, Barnstable Fans of Siobhan, and we've had the mayor of Barnstable, England, write in saying that they're watching over there and are fans. Of course, Ireland is very interesting. We had an email from Australia, and they said, we can't vote for her, but we love your Siobhan. So it's putting us on the map in a different way. And as soon as people find out that, of course, we really are about our people. We love our beaches. We love, our history. But it's really about the people that live here, and she's such a shining example of that.
We hopefully will see her move on later on tonight.
So. Siobhan aside, we spoke with the assistant town manager for him to provide his insight onto Thursday night's special town council workshop meeting on a comprehensive wastewater management plan.
All right, Tom, well, let's get into some the town's business that's going on. This Thursday, the town council is holding a special meeting. First, tell us about this special meeting, and then I'd like you to catch us up to speed of how we got to this point, how the town council got to this point.
The special meeting that the town council has called is, through President Fred Chirigotis, is specifically to, he's asked the town manager, town finance department, to try to look at funding proposals, take the CFAC report that was presented a couple of weeks ago, that everyone agreed was very detailed, looked at the whole global issue, and he said, all right, if we were to continue to be able to move ahead with sewering and dealing with the wastewater problems that the community has, how will we fund it? So what Town Manager Clem and Mark Milne, the finance director, have been doing is putting together all those options that we might have. Options include a betterment, some percent of betterment that the actual person getting the service would pay. It includes an override, if there were a percentage for the override. It includes whether you would look at other discretionary funding sources like the operating budget or the local option on meals and hotel and motel taxes that the council could control. Looking at all those different options, scaling back to something that's manageable over the next 20 years, looking at all those options, putting them on the table for the town councils to digest and look at, and then their job will be to actually come up with a proposal that would then be put in the form of an ordinance utilizing one or some of these mechanisms to move forward should they want to do that. That's when there'd be additional public hearings and all of that. Tonight's workshop is Thursday's workshop is really to try to set the framework for which that proposal will be put together, because that's their job.
Will there be any discussion of the Stewart's Creek project while they're at this workshop?
I suspect, since it was mentioned at the last time, that there'll be some councils who want to look at it. The proposal, I think the goal would be to have a proposal that would take care of Stewart's Creek, but then also be able to be applied to the ongoing next projects that might be out there. So, yes, I fully expect that would come up.
So you spoke of a blend of options that the town council will use in order to finance these projects. And on Monday, on Barnstable this morning, Town Manager Klim spoke about his proposal, and you did speak of it. Could you just talk a little bit more about what the phased plan would be?
Well, I think what viewers can expect is they're going to see a very interactive model. Mark Milne will be using the whiteboard technology that we have in the Selectmen's room to put up an option. For instance, it'll say, I'll use just rough numbers, let's say $200 million in sewering and private roads if we were to try to tackle both at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then there'll be a column that says betterment 50%, override 50%. And then there'll be a series of numbers that'll show that if you have a home of the median priced home of assessed at $311,000, what that cost would be to you annually. Mm-hmm. And then we'll move to option 4, and that might have, again, a percent of the betterment, a percent of the override, and a percent of going into the operating budget. Or it might have just meals tax, say. That would be adding $500,000 to the mix. Plug in those numbers, again, median priced home, it'll be $100 or whatever the number would be. So they'll be able to play with those, with the percentages, with the I don't mean play, but I mean but be able to maneuver them in a way so that they can say, oh, if we were to take this option, what would it mean to the individual homeowner? And if we were to put an override on the ballot, what are the chances that override would pass? So it's a mixture of trying to get the actual financing in place, as well as what politically do we think the town would be willing to do to advance this very necessary public policy of wastewater management.
Sounds like the town administration is and staff are giving the council options to pick from, and then it's the council's job to determine how, in fact, they will exactly carry that out.
They're the legislative body. They'll need to come up with that. We have been tasked by the council president to try to, in some coherent way, put those options before them. So I think it'll be a working session, just as it's billed. They'll have a chance to tackle these numbers and ask whatever questions they can of us that we'll be able to answer them.
So that meeting's going on Thursday night. It takes place in the Selectmen's conference room. And
we're also going to have the main hearing room open so that if there are individuals who want to come and watch it beyond TV, there'll be space for folks, and we can put up on the screens what's being maneuvered that way also.
Okay. Now here's a look at this week's remaining meeting schedule. Wednesday, March 24th at 6 o'clock, the Zoning Board of Appeals amnesty hearings takes place in the Town Hall hearing room. At 7 o'clock, the Zoning Board of Appeals meets in the Town Hall hearing room. Also at 7 o'clock, Old Kings Highway meets at the Route 149 Community Building in West Barnstable.
Well, that's all for now. For Kevin Friel, I'm Nick Cortese. We'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.